Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to Expeditions Viking. We are on our way down here to Legacaestir, Chester, I guess, to take on a satanic cult that has taken hold there. Oh, we got hungry right as we arrived. Excellent timing. Do I want to take on the cult while all of us are hungry? Or is it worth taking a short detour of a few hours to deal with that? And I guess we're also really close to being fatigued. I don't want to waste the time. I'm going to hope hunger... What are the penalties for hunger? Right, that's the endurance and senses. Not certain I want to go into a fight with penalties. Also, I keep forgetting to spend our SP, so I'm going to just spend it on our combat skills for our primary crew. Just to get their main attack options up. We'll look into what I should spend things on at a later point. You don't have any points, oddly. Oh, no, you do. Okay. Roskva, I should probably actually put it into potentially Galder or Witchcraft. Galder would get you Odin's favor. Gain mental resistance. Could be good. Or Witchcraft would get you Talon. 50% chance to inflict panicked. 25% chance to inflict frightened. 25% chance to inflict terrified. Is that on all enemies? Can't be. It's also a free action. Like, does Demoralize say it inflicts all enemies with the status effect Demoralize? This is... It's got to be on one enemy. And I don't know if you can do it at range. Because the ability to just panic a character would be really good. But I think I'm going to go for Galder. Just because mental resistance is also valuable. If they're doing a bunch of demoralizes, having an option to combat that would be good. Okay. Let's go back to camp, as silly as it is. But going in weakened, like senses only matters to some of us, but penalizing our endurance, constitution, whatever they call it in this game, is bad. So let's have you go back to scouting, because that's actually what you're supposed to be here for. So I could scout or hunt. We need more preserving going on. You are good at either, actually better at preserving. Are you properly preserving? Yes. You can do something. I guess guarding that's not needed. We still need a tiny bit more preserving. I'll let one meat spoil so we can get more hunting in. Oh, I actually need more guarding during this time. So let's have you sleep then and guard. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, that shift had enough people. So we'll have you guard here. There we go. Yeah. Shortly after nightfall, your sentries signal that someone is approaching the camp. A lone wanderer, unlikely to pose a threat. Grimnir. You meet the man at the edge of the camp. He's wearing a dark cloak and a wide-brimmed hat that casts his face in shadow, and he leans against a long staff. You can tell by his bearing that he's old, but he seems to be in good health. To everyone's surprise, he addresses you in unaccented Norse. My name is Grimnir, and I have walked far. May I rest at your fire tonight, Thane? Custom dictates that such a request should never be denied. The wanderer slowly takes a place at your fire, which somehow fails to illuminate his face. You sound Norse, Grimnir. Where are you from? The old man coughs. Perhaps the smoke from the fire got into his lungs. I'm not Norse, nor is this land my home. I come from a land far away from here. Firelight catches in one of his eyes, and the gleam gives him an impish look. Do you believe in the gods? Which gods in particular? Of course I believe in them. Not sure, no I don't. We've been making a lot of offerings to the gods, so I think the answer would be yes. But if it's a question of do I believe in the Christian gods, then no. Which gods in particular? Grimnir chuckles brightly. An important question to ask, but not so important to answer. The gods exist. There is no doubt about that. The question is what form they take. What is the nature of their existence? There are certain stories that are told everywhere, through all ages. These stories use certain figures, personalities that we instantly recognize because they are constants of the human experience. Somehow, despite still not being able to see his eyes, you can tell he's giving you a significant look. The mysterious wanderer, for example. Or the virtuous but naive hero, too good to survive this world. The kind, pure virgin, the dumb and brutish, yet loyal and honest warrior. And of course, we must never forget the trickster. These are the gods. They live in us and in our stories. They are reflections of our world. You've entirely lost me. What rubbish, the gods await us in Asgard. They have power over us because we need them to make sense of the world. Wow, this person just twisted their neck really awkwardly. Anyway, I'm happy to go with a more middle ground. Where it's like we can see reflections of the gods in ourselves. Not necessarily saying that we don't believe that the gods are in Asgard, but the gods help us to understand our world. He nods. It is as you say. The ruler is an important figure. From culture to culture, some figures, such as the trickster, change very little, but the ruler often changes quite a lot. How the regent of the gods is portrayed can teach us a lot about how a culture sees the role of a leader. In your tradition, the Allfather is not somebody you can rely on. His obsession with knowledge, with power, makes him unpredictable. To Odin, honor must not stand in the way of expanding his power and maintaining the safety of his people. In a culture that values honor, almost to the detriment of all else, that is interesting, don't you think? What can we learn from this? It's an interesting question. That a ruler's only responsibility is to his people, that you must never trust those with great power, that you will never gain power by playing fair, or nothing, they're just stories. I think there's truth in all of these. The fact that a culture obsessed with honor views the ruler as not having to follow honorable means, doing whatever is necessary to expand power and maintain safety, would view that the ruler's position is their responsibilities to the people, not to honor. At least that's how I'm going to view it, because that's the position I view myself in, is do what I must for the betterment of my people, even making friends here in Northumbria with the Christians that we don't believe in, even lying to a priest that we have converted, which is theoretically dishonorable, but is what's necessary to help our people. Grimnir nods sagely. Perhaps it is as you say. I will not tell you what I think, What's important is the meaning that you yourself derive from the stories. Let it help you to decide where you fit into the grand scheme of things. Without another word, the old man lowers himself off the log, wraps himself in a pelt, and goes to sleep. When you leave your tent the next morning, he is gone. The sentries say he left shortly before dawn. Hi, Roskva. Alright, so we have one bit of a loot that we found. Slightly out of the way, but not bad. 5 hides. Probably worth it. So, we're here to deal with a satanic cult. Do I feel like I should bring Morkant? He does have some interesting abilities. I'm not sure that I've fully leveled him up, so I think I will hold off. I need to do some leveling up between episodes. Yeah, at first I was putting a lot of effort into showing what choices I was making with level ups, but really there aren't a lot of major decisions, and a lot of the points I'm spending aren't super critical because we just need to get a certain number of points spent so that I can actually buy the things I really want. The gown of a Christian priest identifies this man as your contact. He's probably in his mid-30s with a strong physique and handsome despite his receding hairline. He's pacing at the edge of the road, biting his nails anxiously. The priest spits out a nail and wipes his fingers on his gown when he sees your herd. Keeping his distance, he addresses you hesitantly. Travelers, Godspeed, are you the ones the bishop sent? That's right, you're the priest who has trouble with a cult. My name is Sinford. I'm simply the Lord's humble servant here in the area of Legacaestir. Legacaestir. Come with me, I wish to show you something. Please everyone follow. I don't want to be taken by myself into a potential ambush. Look at this shrine, what do you see? Blood? A small stone shrine sits in the clearing. It must be inconceivably old, but someone has been keeping it clear of the worst overgrowth. The tiles on the floor between the 4 pillars are slathered in blood. Whatever creature spilled this blood, it can't possibly be drawing breath anymore. Let's examine the area. Oh, we're actually going to just examine the area. Okay. Talk to him again once we're done examining. Crumbling, neglected pillars surround the shrine, dried blood stains at their base, but otherwise, they look untouched for ages. A sickly sweet odor lingers around an old iron fire pit. Some sort of incense was burned here, and it smells expensive. Is that the same pillar? Some blood is pooled down the side of the broken pillar and gathered in a small pool around it. Guessing these are just the same statements. Okay. Anything else to see? And I don't know how far off I'm supposed to explore, because I don't want to trigger whatever happens next. But I do see a bucket of blood over here. The flies buzz lazily around a bucket filled with viscera. Somebody did a rather half-hearted job of hiding this. Like, how far forward am I supposed to explore? Well, I want to hit that. What do you think? Looks like a shrine covered in blood, or it looks like the aftermath of a very fun night. Oh, there were herbs there. Looks like a shrine covered in blood. It's just as I reported to His Grace. The foul cult who has infested Legacaestir is spilling the blood of innocents in sacrifice to the Dark Lord. I found a bucket full of blood and guts between the shrubs. Any idea what that would be doing here? The priest's teeth start working at the corner of another nail. Remnants of their dark ritual, perhaps? Abandoned after the work was complete? Roscoe's voice is a low sing-song, barely loud enough for you to hear. With lies repay a false foe who lies. With lies repay a false foe who lies. Are you claiming that he has been lying to us? How did you discover this? Members of my church came to me with their fears. These devil worshippers have been spreading their foul corruption across the countryside for months. I always knew something wasn't right with that cult, but this is far beyond my worst fears. And what do you want us to do? The Satanist must be killed or driven off. I guess a question could be, if he's lying, is there the possibility that he has prepared this to look like a cult is doing culty things, so that we would drive off some other group that's not involved in this in the local area? Could be. I don't trust you, priest. But we'll look into this cult for Ianbald. This cult sounds dangerous. Don't worry, though. We'll deal with them. Or we'll investigate this cult, but nobody dies unless they force our hand. I'm going to go with the top one. I don't fully trust you, but we'll look into this cult for Ianbald. I serve the bishop too, you know, but be sure to return to me when the matter is resolved. Yeah, I just don't fully trust you. Because Roskva seemed off. Alright, we've got a broken down tent here. Before we head that way, we had some herbs to gather. Want to make sure I don't miss anything. Do we want to follow the main road, or should I be heading back off to the sidelines? Oh, we've got people. Are you the cultists? You look like farmers. I'm gonna assume you're not cultists. I can't talk to you. I can loot from you. Well, before I wander off, let's see what you have in your barrels. Alright. Alright, we've got some sort of ruins here. I think I did see people briefly in it. Yeah. That's where I would expect possibly to run into our cultists, is in this ruin. There's someone in there that we can talk to. Also other people over here. Who are you? We have to do something. About what? We can't. The pursuers are blocking the bridge. Can't we bring them across where the river is shallow? The current is too strong for the carts. Praetorians could help them. You know they must guard the chapel. Listen, we'll bring more food across the river tonight. At least that's something. Praetorians are guarding the chapel. Must guard the chapel. Someone is guarding the bridge so that they can't bring food. Okay. Now we've got this group here. Just expecting that things are not as we were told, and I don't want to go in with limited knowledge and make the wrong call. Can I not click on this box? You've got a lootable box that I can't get to. It makes me sad. Like, it never shows up a hand for me to click on. Alright. Well, I'm going to go back to the town, because I feel like this ruin is the important place that we're supposed to go to. So let's check out everything else first. I guess, actually, where... We don't have a map marker. Ooh, we can go into the ruin. Yeah, that's definitely where we're supposed to go. So let's explore more over here. And we have more stonework. It's probably just a wall. Didn't get a great view. Oh, that's just the edge of the map right there. Yeah, okay, this is just a wall. Someone's garden. Okay, we have more people here that we can talk to. I don't mind talking to random people. Oh, you are also by that. I was thinking they were just off on their own, but no, we are right by this same facility. Dungeon entrance. Did this farmhouse? No, this farmhouse didn't have an entrance, but it is marked on the map. Weird. Okay. Ancient shrine, we know you. Sewer tunnel? Ah, okay. Possibly there's a way to get out of the sewer that would get us to that box. Do we want to talk to them or keep wandering? I think I'm going to keep wandering. I was tempted to talk to them, but seeing that they're part of, or I guess right in front of the building, perhaps I should wait until we're ready to actually deal with the building. Torch, valuables. That's some good valuables. 173. Okay. Nope, nope. You guys are running inside. Alright. Let's head over here towards these people. We can't go if you don't have the means to do so. What do you propose we do then? I don't know. I just know we can't leave. That's so typical. Always what we can't do, never what we can. I don't see you coming up with anything. Quit your bickering. We need to think. Fine. I'll just shut up forever then. Look, we can't stay here since they're obviously not going to pay us, and there's no point in trying to make them. But we can't leave. Shut up. Let him finish. We can't stay here either, hoping for some divine intervention. That's great. What are you proposing? That we start moving and see how far it takes us. Take odd jobs when we need to, not necessarily carpentry. What a waste. Until we get the resources to craft stuff again, we can't do much else. I say we do as Kuthrad says. It's settled then. We'll leave in the morning. Alright, so you are carpenters who were waiting for someone to pay you, but you don't think they're going to. So you need to just move on. The men sitting around the fire stop talking as you approach and look at you. One of them stands up to greet you. Before he extends his hand, he puts on an air of friendliness that seems forced. Wassail, name's Kuthrad. Can I help you? Couldn't help but hear, but you're having some trouble getting paid what you are owed. Perhaps I can help. I was just curious about what you're talking about. Just passing through, do you know anything about this place? I'm going to start there, rather than just, hey, I've been overhearing and want to jump into your business. Just passing through, do you know anything about this place? It's a festering shithole. Steer clear if you can, and if you can't, don't trust them. What makes you so distrustful of them? These assholes in the tunnels had us build a giant scaffold, but never paid us. We're not exactly equipped to take them on, so to speak, and we don't really have the means to leave, as we were relying on their payment to get us out of here. Perhaps I can help. Gurthad looks you over, then looks to the other two, which both nod their heads. You definitely look like someone who can. One of the others interjects, pointing past the wall into the ruins. The people in there seem to be under the impression that the scaffold we made for them is shit. Explain to them that the humidity in those tunnels will warp the wood, so it'll always look skewed. just seemed to fall on deaf ears. It was a payment of 50 pence. We learned how valuable pence was, but I don't recall. I want to say it was 10 valuables, so 500 valuables. We tried getting through to them, but then they threatened us, making it clear they never intended to pay. Where do they keep it? Do you know? Who have you been dealing with? We'll start there. Who have you been dealing with? Gaius Alias. He's their supplier of sorts. He has a shop-like setup down below. Gets everyone what they need. Except us. Most of the time. Anyway, he's the one we were dealing with, so he's probably the one that has our payment. Where do they keep it, do you know? In the tunnels, although they call it the chapel, probably down by Gaius' stall. Alright, I'll return with your payment. Probably. So yeah, these people think that they've been wronged by the people inside. The other people said that they are unable to travel because people are blocking the bridge. So assuming it's all these people doing it, seems like they're causing problems for everyone in the local area. Maybe? Hi, Amber. Excuse me, my lord, Hlaford. My Hlaford. The young woman before you is staring intently at your feet. Her face is red as a beet, and her fingers incessantly knead at a strand of hair. What's the matter? Or look at me if you want attention. What's the matter? Are you headed into the fortress? I thought you might be. If you see a young man, a few years my senior, with red hair and a thin red beard, will you please let him know I'm out here? He may be wearing a yellow tunic with a blue trim. Who is he to you? He's my brother. His name is Theodore. He joined the Legion long ago, but I finally convinced him to leave a fortnight ago. Her hands are trembling, and she clasps them in front of her to keep them still. He never came to meet me. He must have changed his mind. Maybe they persuaded him to stay? They probably killed him. If you'll help me, I'll find a way to reward you. My family used to be wealthy. I still have some of my father's things. Okay. Legion. Is that what they're calling themselves? Why did he join the Legion? How will I recognize him? Where do you think he might be? Why did he join the Legion? To get food for us because we were hungry. It worked, but I've been so scared for him. How will I recognize him? I'm not sure. You can ask around for Theodore, maybe. Like I said, he has a red beard, red hair, and pretty sad excuse for a beard. And where do you think he might be? I used to meet him outside the walls, but he doesn't come out anymore. He must be somewhere inside the fortress. At least, I really hope he is. I'll see what we can find out. She wrings her hands so hard you think they might twist off at the wrists. That's all I ask. I'll wait here in the meantime. Yeah, I don't expect you have great chances. Oh, two men slouch beside the ancient gate. Neither is more than half a layer of dirt from looking like a thrall. Yet they hold their chin high in confidence as they watch your herd approach the fortress. I was just walking past, guys. As you reach the gate, they lean their simple spears towards each other, symbolically blocking your passage, and both extend their free arm in a strange salute. Hail, Romulus. Why have you come to Legacaestir, travelers? We're here to investigate rumors of pageantry. Paganry. Just passing by when we saw the ruins. Or stand aside or we'll cut you down. Just passing by when we saw the ruins. Our walls are quite the sight, aren't they? They've stood for 1,000 years as a symbol of the might of the and the order of the Roman Empire. You guys believe you're from the Roman Empire. I guess I don't know history, but I'm guessing no. I also don't know the time frame exactly that we're playing in. This place is the domain of the Legion of Romulus. You may visit the fortress, but you're forbidden from entering the chapel. Who is the Legion of Romulus? We're the followers of Valerius, High Priest of Saint Romulus. We worship the the saint of the old empire, that he may once again bring his glory and enlightenment to our land. Why can't I enter the chapel? Only followers of Romulus may enter, by the decree of Valerius. And what is this place? We have reached Deva Victrix, a grand fortress of the old empire, sadly abandoned many centuries ago. The Legion of Romulus has reclaimed the ruins as a holy site to honor Saint Romulus. Where would I find this Valerius? The priest is in the chapel, deep within the tunnels below the ground. But as I've explained, none but his followers are allowed to enter the chapel. You might talk to the praetors if you're really determined to seek an audience, but don't get your hopes up. They guard the entrance to the chapel over in the opposite wall. Do you know a man called Theodore? He shrugs dismissively. Doesn't ring a bell. Not a good sign. Alright. Before going in, also, we can just walk in through these gates, I'm pretty sure, so you guys aren't doing a great job of guarding. Before we walk in, let's see what's going on out here. Æthelfeld. Are you? No, clearly not. I wouldn't go in there if I were you. Those people aren't right in the head. Alright. The men on the bridge are well armed, but they're not behaving like trained warriors. They appear to be watching the road and waiting for something. The most well-equipped of them eyes you warily before he holds up a hand in greeting. Oh there. You don't look like you belong around these parts. What are you looking for? We could just attack? Or we're just travelers passing through. What are you looking for? He gestures vaguely around him, encompassing most of his surroundings. We've been following some dangerous people who went on the run from our town. We believe they were headed here to seek refuge with the Satan worshippers in the old fortress. Fortunately, we got here before them. What makes them so dangerous? You might say it's their ideas. They hold on to barbaric beliefs, leftovers from the Dark Ages, before the Lord came to this land. Maybe we can help you take care of these people if you return the favor. So they are theoretically fighting against the Legion, who we're theoretically fighting against. Maybe we can help you take care of these people if you return the favor. He doesn't look altogether convinced. What do you imagine you'll need our help with? Help us kill the Satan worshippers in the fortress. Bishop Eofowick has sent us here to rid the old fortress of cultists. Sounds like you might be inclined to help us. It would be a tremendous help if you die. I want to know more about the fortress before I decide that we're going to just go in and kill everyone. So, maybe we leave you be. Hopefully if we decide we're going to attack, we can come back and talk to you. On second thought, we'll leave you to it. Yeah, so we can still talk to you. I'm trying to get the full picture before we just decide on a course of action. Stone looks like it stood here forever. Its base covered in lichen, its top in bird droppings. Strange markings are chiseled across its surface. Some look like shapes of animals or plants, but most are completely incomprehensible. Another one of these strange stones. How many could there be? This is the third? No. Oh, it actually said something new. Maybe you look at it upside down. The more you stare at it, the less you understand. Okay. So it's not saying anything particularly. We've reached the edge of the map over here. Oh, hi there. So you must be the people who are trying to bring food to the Legion? A small group of people are huddled around a campfire along the river. They look at you with terror in their eyes, only slightly alleviated when they see who you are. Who are you? What do you want? Please, don't tell anyone we're here. My name is Alfbjorn. Who are you? You have nothing to fear from us. Are you hiding from the men on the bridge? My name is Alfbjorn. Who are you? She shoots her friend a questioning look. The other woman nods. My name is Beatrice. My friend's name is Justina. The people on the bridge seek to kill us, or worse, they've pursued us for a week. We just want to be left alone. We heard we might be safe here, but they got to the bridge before we did. Why did they pursue you? Because they're vile. We've done nothing to earn their hatred. The other woman leans over and whispers something in the first one's ear, pointing subtly at your clothes. Hope sparkles to life in the first woman's eyes. You're not a Christian. Do you worship the old gods? I doubt you've ever heard of my gods. Yeah, so you worship some sort of old gods of the Roman faith, which is different than the gods we worship of the Norse faith. I'm not a Christian, I worship no gods. Or we could say we are Christian. I doubt you've ever heard of my gods. We'll be honest with you. We're like you. Our families have always remained loyal to the old traditions. The people on the bridge hate us for it. We refuse to renounce our faith, so they hunt us. They'll kill us if they catch us. They'll kill our children. Why don't you cross the river? The current is too strong. We can't cross with the children. That bridge is the only way. I don't know. So, I'm more suspicious that the original priest was lying. He created some show of blood sacrifice to get action from the church to drive out these worshippers of old gods. But they're not satanic. They just are worshiping the Roman gods. And they seem to be trying to live peacefully, but there's just conflict between them and the other Christians. I can't get involved right now. I may be back later. The woman buries her face in her hands. Later, we'll probably all be dead. You're probably gonna be fine. Let me just take your goods. You know, while they're sitting there, unprotected. Anything else around? Oh, hi. There's a wolf named Rhea Silvia that we could attack. And a cave we could loot. But you're not attacking us, and you have a name. I'm going to leave you alone, random named wolf. I don't think that's a dog. I think that's a wolf. Weird. Okay, we have some goods over here that we can grab. Oh, and that takes us up here where the barrel was, which we already collected. Okay. Then I think that is basically everywhere besides the fortress itself explored. Yeah? Yeah, we can't get farther up the river. I think we've explored as far as we can on these sides. Yeah, I think all we have left is the fortress and then deciding who we're going to side with. So, yeah. I think for now, though, we will leave it here. Next time we'll go into the fortress, assuming they let us. Talk to a few more people and then try and get an idea of how we want to handle this. So for now, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys then. Bye.